Well, hey there, everyone. I'm out here in the park with my dog going for a walk again in the dark, in the fog. Oh, the dense fog, how it creeps over the land. Last night I took a walk up here, and as I left home there was no fog in sight, and as I walked up the street it got thicker, and then my whole way home it was the thickest fog I'd seen in years. In fact, I couldn't even see the headlights of the cars in the street, the main highway down there, until I was about a block away. It's pretty thick. And something about the fog, just like the snow, kind of silences the surroundings. And it's a beautiful thing. Something I think we need more of. Silence. I'll be honest, I probably don't give myself enough silent moments, even though I spend a lot of time in quiet. It's never completely quiet. And it never needs to be. In fact, even people who decide to take a vow of silence don't necessarily have to not talk to their family or friends. It's more of a symbol for a silence of the inner critic, a silence of the mind that sometimes we can't get unless we've been out maybe by ourselves for a while. And that's hard to do because most of us are working, trying to pay our bills and live life. I just got done painting a bunch of pieces of molding in the garage, and then my dog was yelping, and she's in heat, so she's been being a little stinker, rambunctious and nipping at the kids. And so I was like, I'll take her for a walk. And I guess I've been taking her on a walk every night for about the last week, but usually I don't do nightly walks because, well, I'm lazy. That's what it comes down to. In brutal honesty, you take a dog in as a member of the family, and that's your obligation. And it's just funny because I was thinking about this earlier with her. A dog looks so forward to even the slightest of things. We as humans, we have too many modes of entertainment, and we're always constantly distracted by everything around us. Dogs rest quite a bit, and they can give you a lifetime of knowledge in just a stare. But humans, you can look into some people's eyes and it's just like, wow, this person is extremely wise. And at the same time, you can look into some people's eyes and just say, wow, this person just, no offense, looks completely brain dead. And, even when I was younger, hearing the eyes were the windows to the soul, and all these, the speculation about how people look kind of reflects who they are. I took it as a lot of bullshit, because it is, for the most part. There are a lot of, let's just say simply, there's a lot of beautiful people who are complete assholes, and a lot of horrendously, deformed folks who are amazing humans. So this isn't about your direct karma of how you look compares to how you are. But there is something about the eyes, the face, the rest of the body, none of that matters. You can be as fat or as skinny, as ugly, as beautiful, whatever color. But if you look into somebody's eyes, you can see their soul. I guess a lot of people maybe don't understand it or take it seriously because so many people won't even look you in the fucking eyes. Let's be honest here. the current generation is growing up with folks who, you go to the grocery store and they don't even look at you. And I was talking with someone about this the other day, about that old 7-Eleven video from the 80s that's on YouTube. It makes the rounds every year, so from 87 or something, and it's just these two guys filming in 7-Eleven, filming strangers, talking to people, and everybody's pretty friendly. But more than that, you can just see that people are genuine. They're having a good time, It just seems like, and I hate to say it, it's like nowadays everybody just looks depressed. And I know that it's like an infection of society. Nobody feels like they have anything to look forward to. There's no real hope. Back in the 80s, after, there's so many things were happening, the end of the Cold War, the Berlin Wall fell. None of that really matters in the big picture, but it did to the people, because folks felt like, there was a potential for world peace, for, let's just say, improving our future, climate action, a variety of other things. And then all these terms were weaponized. Now it's like climate change, and you're either loved or hated. You say the words, and they keep changing them. Global warming, climate change. Really, we're looking around as storms become more intense, and all the top scientists in the world say, well, yeah, we are definitely contributing to it, but there's a certain amount of natural warming. So all the, conservatives grab onto the, look, it's natural, and all the Democrats say, look, we're destroying the planet, and it becomes this battle of who's right and wrong, when most people can just look out their fucking, window, metaphorically. These days it would be looking online to try to search and do your sleuthing to figure out what's really going on out there. And most people don't. Most people don't. They just take whatever they hear. If their local news station tells them to believe something, they believe it. I mean, tell me I'm wrong, People don't want to do any real reading or research anymore. And, I remember if I wanted to learn something, I had to go to the library. Now, I'm not getting into that, back in the good old days, because there's much more information now. But that's not necessarily a good thing, because I could look something up in a library and it may be bullshit, but the fact that it took time to get it published showed that somebody dedicated their time to it and actually cared. In other words, a lot of the books weren't necessarily written just to make a quick buck, because it wasn't something that you could make a quick buck on. You had to really stand behind it. So yeah, there's a lot of bullshit, but there's also a lot of good information that mattered. And it was simple information. Now things have become too complex. We have access to more info than we could ever possibly want. And this brings me full circle, back to the silence. Walking in the fog, in the park, in the dark. Just taking a moment to remember that we don't need to constantly bombard ourselves with information. And I guess I'm talking to myself as much as anyone else, because I dedicate a lot of my time to watching YouTube videos, listening to music, doing random things. Come here, Lucy. But right now I'm walking my dog. I'm out in the woods as much as I can from where I live, and taking the old Lucy for a walk and trying to escape the noise. So I bid you all a good night. I certainly hope whoever you are and wherever you are, you have somebody that you can tell them that you love them. Somebody in your life that cares about you, that you care about. And I hope that, the future for mankind brings the utopia that many hope for. And perhaps, as many believe, progress and continual growth in stock market and AI is going to get us there. And you know what? I will hold out a certain amount of hope, a certain degree of hope that that's true. But 99% of me says that the most important thing is learning to walk through the woods, learning to touch grass, preparing for the inevitable, demise of what used to be for something new. And I'm not going to say what I think that might be because I don't know. I feel like in my lifetime there's going to be some sort of a major cataclysm worldwide. COVID, no, that's nothing. Something bigger than that. Something that actually, really triggers humans to say, wait a minute, we're doing this all wrong. And I don't want to hope for something like that or pray for something like that. It's horrible to want a major disaster or change because part of me says people will die. And I don't like that. I don't like it when people die. But then there's part of me that says, what if we just continue along the same path? And put it bluntly, breeding and breeding and breeding until there's like 20 billion of us. And then all of a sudden a cataclysm that we should have known better happens. And we lose even more people. This is like the trolley problem. Like, should the population be naturally culled now by God, by whatever force you believe, or if there's no force you believe in, by human ignorance, or just by chance, by nature, whatever. If we were really put in our place, what would we do as survivors? What would the survivor? I say we, maybe I'd die in the fucking impact, depending on what happened. But I like to consider myself a survivor. I've always been kind of the prepper type, so I have a lot of different, supplies. My dog's running out of the park. Looks like I'm coming to the end of my video. I don't want her to run out in the street and get hit, but, she's pretty smart. She's a husky. She knows better. I don't want to scream for her in the camera because that would probably be not pleasant. I know you can't see me or see anything here, but I'm near the city, but I'm actually in the suburbs outside of Vancouver, Washington, and it's a nice brisk January evening. So anyway, enough apocalypse talk, right? Thanks for being here. I'll talk to you all next time, and be well. Take care of each other. Come here, you. Hey, come here. You have a good time? Did you? Good. I'm glad. There we go. Winter tires. We're almost there, girl. What is that? It's a school bus. And we're home. Good night, everyone.